Humanoid. MameHaze.
Hello, and welcome to everybody. You had a stream yesterday, and you're getting another stream today, because that's how these things tend to go. No stream for a few months, and then two in 2 days. So, I'm going to start with a Kaneko game called Magical Crystals, which is one of the prettier games with lots of rainbow effects going on. I thought it would be a good start to the stream. So, who have we got in already? We have Aussie Guy, the regular provider of facts, who seems to know everything about every arcade game, which is always good, because, you know, I don't always know that much. And we've got Carlo. Welcome, Carlo. We've got Atom. Welcome, you were here yesterday too, so welcome again, Atom. We've got MAME Fan, one of the regulars, who also has his own channel where he covers a lot of games in MAME. And we've got Jay Wallace, one of the people who's worked on many of the Fruit Machine emulations in MAME. And very good friend Martha is here, so welcome, Martha. It's good to see you. Call you Mebs. I will call you Mebs then. So, hello there. So, yes. So, what are we going to do? Well, I think Oh, we've already got 15 kills. That's not bad. This is why announcing streams early helps. So, let's change to the view where we can see the game in the full screen. And timely, it's Kaneko Presents. And standard game, apparently. Standard game. Put the coin and start playing. This is where you let me know I've got something set up wrong. Otherwise, you know, if I forget to change the display orientation or anything like that, let me know. So, how is everybody there tonight? It's a Good Friday night. The weekend is coming up. So yeah, you walk along and you shoot things. It's a bit platformy. It's a bit side-on platforming. So if you unfortunately fall off the edges, then you'll die. So, you know, watch your run, get your crystals, and rescue the pixies and get out. There we go. Jump onto the goal, and off we go. Now, this is one of those where I believe there are two versions with slight gameplay changes. I'm not overly familiar with them. And hey, Ryan, welcome. Good to see you too. And another new friend of late, new real life friend, Ryan. So welcome. Good to see you. So, yeah. And so this is a nice, colourful game. And I do like colourful. You know, a lot of the arcades of the 80s were really colourful. This one's from the 90s and carries on that tradition rather well. Reminds me a bit of MameHaze from Namco, but this one is not isometric, it's sort of more side-on. A bit like actually the MameHaze port to the PC engine, which you may look at later, because they changed things up there. But this is a little super area, so yes, for your witchy. You came in, and what is this game? Freak Zero. This is Magical Crystals from Kaneko. It's one of their ones on similar hardware to the likes of Great 1000 Mile Rally. 16-bit platform. I think Toy Box is what they call the development into this one. And yeah, it's an often overlooked but highly colourful shooter from a company that did have a fairly large number of decent games that often get overlooked. If you like to walk along shooting platformers, this is definitely one to check out. Oh, I missed that jump, and that's not good. Right. A little bit slow down because the 68K maybe not quite as fast as it could be. Could have done with a slightly faster processor than it. But you can always overclock it if you really want. The cheats menu. But no, we're going to play it as it could have been played. But yes, it's got that line effectively. It's got a frame of the sprites where it can leave the sprites on the screen. So sometimes you get those larger coverage of the sprites. Wasn't sold by Taito, so Kaneko sold this one directly. Yeah. Do you know the version differences? I know that I think there's there'll be an article on the version differences. Might be one of the Sudden Bessie ones where they analyse the two versions of the game or something else. If you slowly whittling down this boss here, splitting them up. This is a common thing you see in a lot of Japanese games. Slimes are split up. Very well done. Different ones have different properties. Bouncing slimes. Rolling bombs now is our weapon. Let's roll those. Bigger bombs. Yes, it's a very cute game. I think Kaneko did good with this one. Oh, and I died. Luckily, still got some value remaining. I think I played this on the stream before. I think it gets to a point where I still do it, like most arcade games, the difficulty really ramped up. It would be nice if it had a sort of twin stick control scheme, but it doesn't. Doing the fairies are leaving a little twisted behind. You know, you can put some grappling outlets. Let's get out of the way of the bouncing blocks. It's only the bridge there. It's a good time, so you can't take forever to do it. Now there's 2-player option if you have a friend with you. Game volume might need to go down a bit. Okay, let's bring that down a little bit. Main plan, is that better? I'm trying to keep it just outside of the yellow. To the wall. This is a bit challenging, don't you think? Again? or Gyrodine. Kaneko did have a mix of games. I think they always tried to do something that stood out, but then after a while they just started making lots of sort of Gauss Panic variations, and I mean, we could potentially play Panic Street, but all the Gauss Panic games are, for obvious reasons, rather off limits. Although, actually no, sorry, I say that, I think the Korean version of the first Gauss Panic would be stream friendly. Not many of those. But now we've got a very familiar looking sort of city background here. It feels a little out of place for us, doesn't it? Come on, moving platform, come back to me. Okay. I got. Let's continue. Yeah, let's continue this time. Shall we go down this path? Oh, that's a shortcut to the goal. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. I can explain how scaling and rotation works from the hardware level. It's mostly just counters, Carlo. I mean, if you've got a sort of sort and destination counter, and one of them is increasing more quickly than the other, then you end up with things being scaled or shrunk. And if you want rotation, it's more a case of when the X counter increases, the Y counter also increases for horizontal and vertical scaling. So, I mean, which hardware is good at it? Every hardware has advantages and disadvantages. Some can only scale some up, some can only zoom down, and you get weird ones like the cave hardware where it skips pixels instead of actually making them bigger, so you get funky explosion effects. It comes down to, you know, what's the underlying hardware. I mean, if it's using a frame buffer, it might be more capable than if it's trying to do it on a per line basis because it's got more time to do it. It's not everything's different. That's what I want to say. The basic concept. Okay. I think this one gets overlooked. Even if MameFan doesn't know this one, and MameFan has covered an awful lot of the games I've done on these streams, that tells me something. Because MameFan does like to pick the things I've done on these streams, and especially if they're on sort of hidden gem streams, and give them a play on his own stream. And so, yeah, if you've not seen this one yet, I'm not surprised you've not seen this one yet, because I think I have played before, maybe on one of the hidden gem search type streams on my own, but maybe you missed that one, or maybe it's just one go. I don't know if that's the sort of version of the actual PC the game runs on, although it wouldn't surprise me because yeah, you do like Easter eggs in that. Yeah, yes, it's PC. Okay, well, of course we have another boss. I like how everything moves in this. There's a lot of things moving in sort of circles and arches. There's really a lot of maths going on under the hood here. You calculate the trajectory of all the bullets and everything. This is lucky. No, that's the ball. Continue one more time. You'll do this on a future video. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I mean, I do like a walk along shoot, and they don't all have to be sort of army-style shock troopers, Atari warriors. Cutesy ones like this are just as good. And so, I like this one. I like this one a lot. I don't think they've bought it. I think this is an arcade exclusive. I don't think it even got my PlayStation on the Saturn. I could be wrong, but I don't remember reading that in the book. Well, we're going to have the balls now, I think we are. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. I think we're there. These are a little bit spongy, but it's not very game, what you expect. Slightly non-living things. Does not have the range on them. There's more than we got. No, we got that boss taken out. Yes. So, So yes, Martha, who is in the chat, would be considered my new partner now, so I don't know if she's still listening, but if anyone wants to say hello to her, that would be lovely. I think I'm allowed to say that rather than just say good friend at this point. Anyway. Yeah, it's possible you've just not caught a stream over been playing it, but it's very colourful. I mean, look, I've got the fiery background and the colour cycling. It kind of reminds me of what maybe Williams would have done if they'd gone into making games in the 90s rather than the rainbow colour cycles on things like Robotron. They might have started doing a much more colour cycle. You know, if they kept up that sort of 2D style game, and you know, it feels like an evolution of those. Visually. Can you not get through it? Instead, well, we lost that style game after a while. Ghosts. I like the way the ghosts are just little outlines. Okay. If you're near the edge of the platform, you don't quite make the jump, you'll get a bit of chance to recover. Yeah, I still think the whole Laserdisc era, for the most part, things like Dragon Slayer was a big step backwards. It all loads for me as well. My accuracy is not very high then. I think when I lose this life though, we will move on to another game. Not sure what yet. I'm going to have a little look at my list. And as I said, if people have suggestions in the chat for specific games that they'd like to see, I will deviate from the list of games I have in front of me to have a look at them at some point, as long as I don't forget. And if I do forget, do not worry. So we're not going to continue. The game is over. That was a bit of a magical crystal, and not especially good at any of these games. But, there we go. 4 letters isn't usual for a high school length, but kind of handy. I can put Haze in. You'd like Gyrodine, Buzzard from Crux Taito. Yeah, I don't think I've played that one recently, have I, Osagaj? I don't think I've played that one recently. Curse of... It's a fun little game, Atom. So, Metal Hawk... Unfortunately, Metal Hawk still has emulation issues on the Battleship stage, Carlo. Otherwise, that would be quite a good one. But yeah, the system too had a lot of rotation. You've got games like Assault that make good use of it. So, Aussie Guy requests Gyrodine. So yeah, let's flick to a request now. Vertical game, I believe. Books. And yeah, as I mentioned in the previous stream, another game developed by probably the same people as this has shown up recently. I just realised I had the music on the speakers rather than my headphones. That might be why things were a bit too loud. I switched it now. Anyway, so yeah, this is one of those where your firing direction is affected by the direction you're heading. So you don't always fire straight ahead. You turn and fire. So the sound's a little bit annoying, so let's turn it down a bit. Does not have the best sound design, this one. And a bit like Xevious, you have air and ground attacks. Not terrible. Not an all-time favourite. From what I'm told, the actual PCB of this has some sprite glitches that do not happen in MAME. I'm not quite sure why they happen, but on several PCBs, the sprites have been a bit glitchy. But yes, simple little 8-bit shooter from Crux. I think I prefer Planet Probe, although this, unlike Planet Probe, was actually released. I haven't written this off with Airduel. Has Airduel got the directional shooting? I know Markham from Sun has. Well, that's a horizontal game. But, I mean, helicopter shooters, there are plenty of them. Even this whole thing, shooting through the trees in the forest, you saw it on, what, UPL's XX mission has a section like this. You can hold the fire button. So, I don't think there are many original concepts in this game. So I'm not sure anybody would be ripping this off. Developed by Crux. Crux also developed Akazukin. That's the one played on last stream, but it's all Red Riding Hood one. But, yeah. This is alright. I mean, there are other attempts similar as well. That Hammer Away prototype on System 18 hardware. Santos Sega is another helicopter shooter. I don't mind it. I think the problem is, you know, Tiger Heli is the helicopter shooter that most people know and love, and the others all feel a little weak. Even though this is technically got more interesting ideas with the directional shooting, whereas Tiger Heli was quite plain. I don't know what triggers the... oh, do both buttons trigger that? Yeah. Press both buttons at once you get the missile. Don't know if those are limited. Oh, and we have hit something. The scanlines are bad, are they? You mean the vertical scanlines aren't quite working because the resolution off? I'm not sure. I've not changed anything on the setup, Carlo. Side scroll. You're talking about Markham, main fan, the Sun one. That does also affect the angle. So yeah, we'll play until this credit is over on this one, because I think the game doesn't really do much more than this. It's very simple shoot 'em up. Not a bad one, but just I think once you've seen what I've shown, there's not much more to see. Got a little bit of dead space here. Oh, and now some more things firing from the ground. Yeah, Markham's not bad. Markham's pretty good fun. And there we go, game over. So that was Gyrodine from Crux. Yeah, I don't mind it. I've played it a few times before. It's not a go-to game for me, but if this was in your local arcade, I'm sure you'd give it a credit. The bullets may be a little difficult to see. They're a little small, but I think it does what it does pretty well for a 1984 game. I bet this is one of those that BBH will be covering on his Push to Reject series fairly soon, because he's on 83 at the moment. Or is he actually on 84 now? I don't know, but that was definitely one of those that was not super popular, and many people don't remember. Now, where shall we go? I reckon I'm going to show something new, actually. I say new. It's new, but not new. Right, we need the horizontal view back. So, this is a recent homebrew modification. We're going to prime up the 32X driver. Now, Jerome Visser has made a version of Golden Axe for the 32X. Now, this is based on the Mega Drive original, but the backgrounds and everything else have been replaced with the ones from the arcade version, because the 32X was more capable of rendering backgrounds which were similar to the arcade, whereas they had to be reduced in colour for the actual Mega Drive port. So this is a homebrew, I didn't need to do that, homebrew modification that I think was released in the last few days, actually. It still plays like the Mega Drive version, because it's the Mega Drive version under the hood. But the backgrounds now do resemble the arcade. I think some of the stage layouts have been changed as well. The dual mode was taken out, maybe to make space, or maybe just because it hadn't been updated. I'm not sure. But yes, if you want a version that better resembles the arcade, then this is worth checking out, I think. I mean, I've not played it extensively. I've just saw it being released recently and thought, hey, let's have a look at that. I mean, it doesn't add the content from the Japanese arcade version, so you don't get the whole chopping off the head in the attract mode, but you do get a few more of the attract mode scenes from the original arcade put in this one. Never been especially good at the game, but I probably wouldn't have sold any more 32X units because, I mean, I think one of the problems with the 32X was that too many of the games were just Mega Drive games with slight enhancements, which, yeah, this is guilty of. But if you just want to see something that could have been, then, yeah, check it out. I don't know if this has the extra level that the Mega Drive version had in the first place, or if that was taken out. Because obviously there's no background for that from the arcade to copy. And one of the advantages of the Mega Drive version is that it had an extra level. Yeah, I'd say I think they've done the backgrounds with the 32X. I'm not sure about the sprites though. I mean, the problem is the 32X is just a frame buffer. You don't have a sprite timeout system, so it's quite limited really. But you can enhance a few Mega Drive games with it. So let's just play this a little bit. I think, yeah, you say it's overrated, and I think if you try and play it today, then sure. I think there are better games that have come out now, and it's a bit dated. But for the time it came out, I mean, it was something a bit different. I don't think anybody's going to go out their way to play it over, say, the Capcom D&D games. Now, but this came out before those. And also, I like the fantasy theme. I mean, I know people are going about how Streets of Rage is such a good game. I kind of find Streets of Rage boring. I don't like the city theme. I like for the fantasy you've got going on here. It's alright, yeah. I mean, I enjoyed playing it on the CPC, which was a colourful port, even if it was a bit choppy in the movement. Obviously, you can see I'm not especially good at it. Let's just use the magic on these guys. Double tap attacks, yeah, you got the double tap attacks, the jump attacks like that, yeah. Unfortunately, if you forget how to play it, you're going to get nowhere. And being able to ride on the creatures as well with a nice touch. And some of the stages aren't entirely flat, you can jump up onto some ledges. It's got a few things going for it. I can't really complain. There are definitely, while there are definitely better games, there are also much more boring games. Some extra power. There we go. Star Wars, yeah, 32X. You had Star. Sadly, Virtual Racing 32X does not work in MAME yet. Chaotix. That is okay. You missed the US didn't get the was it Dark something, the 3D asteroid type one from Frontier. I quite like that one, but I think that was a PAL only release. But yeah, the 32X was just not really good hardware. It was probably one of Sega's many mistakes of the time. Just you got a few good games, but then you got ones that were scaled back. Like if you look at Toughman Contest, the 32X version, which is supposed to be the enhanced version, has a lot cut out compared to the Mega Drive version because they had to make room for the better quality samples. So they took away backgrounds and animations, and yeah, it didn't even always feel like an enhancement. PC Engine is good. So yeah, anyway, I'm not going to play through all that. I just wanted to point out that yeah, there's this homebrew patch which is available as an IPS file on ROM hacking. I think is it romhacking.net or org, I can't remember. But yes, you can download the IPS patch and apply it to the ROM and play this version on a 32X emulator, or presumably even a real 32X if you happen to own one. Yeah, the 32X Sega Arcade, the Model 1 ports were okay. I mean, you know, they played okay. Star Wars was fine. Virtual Racing's alright. Virtual Fighter, it's alright. They're just not special. But yeah, I thought it was worth having a look at that one briefly. DOS version was a decent port. Is it the C64 port that's a bit ropey on that? I can't remember. Let's have a look at one that's marked as not working in MAME and see if it works very well. Let's go a bit of Konami on you and a bit later this time. So, The thing is, I mean, yeah, they were better than the Mega Drive versions in some cases of Space Harrier and Afterburner, but they just weren't. They weren't arcade perfect, and I mean, they were basic arcade games, and they only have so much life to them in a home environment. Maybe Outrun was too difficult to get working with the performance. I mean, I think the road objects would have still been quite difficult because you were still working with a frame buffer. So this is Teraburst from Konami, and it is marked as not working, I believe, but I think it's somewhat playable. So let's find out. I think it wants 3 credits. Greedy game. Yeah, it's a good game. I've actually seen the cabinet of this one before. Yeah. I don't know much about it, and I mean, you know how these on-rail shooters tend to go. They're on rails. If you see something that looks bad, you shoot it. If you see barrels, shoot them because they're usually going to blow up and take out lots of things with them. And don't shoot the hostages. I mean, that's a tip I should really learn to take on board. Yes. Okay. No need to do donuts. Yeah, I'm still shooting far too many hostages. Do not put me in law enforcement. But yeah, I don't know what is not working about this. I'm assuming it's going to crash at some point on me. Block the tanker. There we go. That's far better. Tanker is done. I mean, specs only ever tell you half the story, Carlo. Really, I mean, specs are made to make things sound good, made to sell the best features. They always highlight what something can do rather than what it can't, and sometimes what things can't do is more important. Let's take this out. So there we go. Take you out to. Oh yeah, this is just a bit of mindless blasting fun, really, isn't it? If you like any kind of game in this genre, this is going to seem familiar. You don't really get many bombs though. You're only given bombs very occasionally, which is unusual. Nope, you're not. It's very clear that each wave only starts after you've cleared the previous one. But yeah, this used to be quite a common game to see back in the day. I remember seeing it at several arcades, even sort of the modern arcades, you know, the ones in bowling alleys and the like. One of the last games I remember seeing in any great numbers before we really moved on to all the PC-based games. I think it was around the times Konami were quite doing popular things like Silent Scope, so I think Konami was still a name people wanted in their arcades. Tachi Wonderland was Pasuya Urima's first game while at Crux. That's the one that has, yeah, the border's been found, hasn't it? I think somebody was saying it may have started off as a different game and been modified to the Wonderland theme. Codename the Chariot. Well, that doesn't look like a chariot, that looks like a big, nasty tank. That's not going in well. Hello, building. Please don't. That's not. Yeah, it's not where you want to stand when a building is falling down. And now back to trying to destroy this thing. Ooh. No bomb. Oh, no, it's keeping. This is quite a drawn-out boss fight with lots of stages to it. Yeah, the Japanese version is still at large, I see. I mean, hopefully one day they'll all show up, but, I mean, any game of that rare showing up is a good thing. I mean, it's like, even that Hammerway that was mentioned earlier, the screenshots you can see online are clearly not the same as the version that was found. The title screen's different. But unfortunately, I mean, sometimes the various versions... I wasn't meant to avoid that. It was just... there's no shield button. It felt like compulsory damage to me. I have to hit the break point, don't I? And there we go. Boom. Bit Gunblade New York vibes. Yeah, shame Gunblade New York really doesn't run well in MAME. Otherwise, I could have played that one. But yeah. I don't think we need to play beyond this point. It actually seems to have worked quite well so far, though. So maybe... maybe it fails later on, or maybe the not working flag is more precautionary with this one. I'm not sure. I'm quite impressed by what I see. Yeah. Oh well, that is my credits done. But yeah, Teraburst. Maybe you want to have a look at this one on one of your streamers, MameFan, and see how it does. See if it's actually playable all the way through. Whatever. I don't know. Stock ricochet sounds. Stock sounds are definitely a thing. You saw many games. That makes it look like a racing game. I'm guessing there are priority bugs here actually, because it looks like it's trying to display a high score table. Yeah, so there were priority bugs at least. The high score table was clearly hidden behind the graphic there. But yeah, okay, yeah, this is where you can see there are some graphical bugs because this text meant to be over and it's under. But hey, minor things really. The game ran surprisingly well. Yeah, it needs a good PC, MameFan. So if your PC's a little weaker, it may not work. Sometimes I forget that. So yeah, there are priority bugs, but otherwise rather playable. Okay. Let's go with something completely different. Let's bring up the 2600 and play some Frostbite. So I don't know how to play. Okay, well, don't walk into the water is the first thing. I saw a little video this earlier and thought I'd add it to the list. Let's see how. So they clear that colour. It's a bit like Frogger, maybe. I don't know. That wasn't a good idea. Though I seem to be having to jump backwards and forwards between the same things. Not straight into the water though. That was silly. Maybe all the way to the bottom, all the way to the. Well, that went well. Say it says 45 degree. Can I change that at all? No, oh no, that's the not an angle. That's a temperature. Oh, okay. Avoid those things because they push you off. They're not in the water. They're in the air. So what I like about doing these streams though is no, okay, you can't. So do we have a button? We have the space button one. Okay. Does it do oh, okay. Space changes the direction of the pads. That's handy. At least some of them. The one you're on. Okay, yeah, I get it. And then I guess we go down again. Can we jump to the? So we can jump. Okay, we can jump there. Okay, I get it now. So you control the direction of these things. No, I got pushed off. Orca went bankrupt in June '83, according to Aussie Guy. I mean, at least a lot of that Orca and Crux and everything that ended up going on to do some other pretty important content. Oh, wait. There we go. Go to the igloo. Yeah, sometimes that's unfortunately how it goes, isn't it? Can I walk along here? Oh, I can walk along these as if they're just one thing, but there's now fish, which... Oh, I can collect. Okay, I can get the fish. Excellent, I can go fishing. Yeah, once you get hit by one of those bird-type things, you can't move anymore. Okay, we know a bit more. The levels change up. Oh. Do I need to get back to the bottom, or can I just get straight to the top? I don't know. I'm learning about this game. I've never played this game before. No, I have to go all the way to the bottom. Considering when the 2600, the VCS, was released, some of the games managed to look surprisingly good. I mean, this predated things like the Spectrum by many, many years. Yet, you could argue some of these games look better than anything that was ever on the 8-bits over here on a much earlier system. In fact, some of these look better than some of the arcade games that were released after it. It was a surprisingly good piece of kit, much as people may laugh about it. We'll jump through one. Oh. The slightest touch will drag you into the water. Okay, that's fair enough. Get back to the top and go in the igloo. The board has the same video board as Akazukin and the soundboard of Gyrodine. Interesting. I wonder if I'm going to be asked to look at the emulation of that one then when it's dumped. I mean, I'm going to guess the answer is yes. I mean, because I did look at the Planet Probe stuff and did a few tidy-ups on the other drivers. So I'm guessing I will probably be asked to look at that if the dump shows up. At least I don't have to get all the fish, to my knowledge. We've built the igloo, and we can go and sleep the night and see what is in the water the next day. There we go. Back to bigger packs. Oh, okay, they now fill the role of drag you into the water. Okay, that's a bit of Frostbite on the 2600. Plays pretty well from 1983. If you had that at home, I think you'd be impressed. I mean, Activision at the time was... well, it's sign of a good game on the 2600, and that is no exception. Stick with the home system. And if anybody has any other suggestions in the chat or ones I've forgotten, let me know. I mean, you'd have to be a bit more specific on games, because there are many games on the system. We got the Saturn out now. I think I played the original Stay Frosty P-Dub. I don't know if I played Stay Frosty 2. I don't know if that's going to require peripherals that we don't emulate to work though. But even the original Stay Frosty, I think, required some extras. The Bias Sam brought you back, did it, Atom? Well, we're going through a puzzle game here. We're going with Bakabons, which I don't actually know how to play. I'll have to have a look, P-Dub. I've not researched it. Akazuki video board the same as Vastar. So, how does this work? So... I think this might be a Saturn exclusive, unless it was also on the PlayStation. I heard you have to surround pieces. Yeah, okay. It's a bit different. Is this the disappearing piece sound from Gyrodine? It sounds very familiar. You know, the Neo Geo game that everybody loves to hate. I'm pretty sure this is the sound it makes there when you get rid of pieces. I'm not quite getting it though, because those aren't the pieces I expected to disappear when I did that. I do not understand the disappearing piece rules here. I mean, I think I did good, but not intentionally. Anybody actually understand what's going on in this game? It's not just matching blocks. Why did they disappear? I might just have to pretend I know what's going on. Usually these puzzle games, it's obvious to me what the rules are. Here, are they going to... You see, I thought the red ones would disappear then, and it wasn't the red ones. Is this even working properly? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Help? I'm confused. I lost. What are the rules to this game? I was winning, now I lost. I read you have to surround pieces, but the pieces that were vanishing didn't feel like pieces I surrounded. I do like puzzle games with unique rules, but I do also like to understand those rules. Is it linking things in? Okay. If I put another red one here... What? No, that's not... That doesn't do anything. Okay, I think it's... You get between two... You've got to sort of sandwich things. So if I was to put the two yellows to suit... Yeah, okay, you sandwich them between other ones. That's... It's not surround, it's sort of sandwiching between. Okay, I think maybe I get it. I think maybe I get it. Although... Maybe I don't. Lots of maybes. I think that must be a wildcard one. If I drop... If I drop this green here, this should disappear. Yeah, okay. Kind of makes sense. But now what? It requires a different way of approaching the puzzle game that I'm not quite used to. So that'll get rid of those, yeah. Okay. Diagonals work too from what we've seen. Can't. I should do a diagonal if I'm not... What? No, not that. This should get rid of some though. Yeah. Okay, so it does work properly. It's just the rules are not what I'm used to. Does this get rid of the whole row? It gets rid of... no, it doesn't get rid of the ones at the far end, so okay. Okay, not bad. Yeah, so I think this was a Saturn exclusive, which is one of the reasons I picked it. Probably also a Japan exclusive. This should get rid of some stuff. Yep. Nice. I know puzzle games aren't everybody's cup of tea, but yeah, I kind of like them. Is this gonna... No, that won't do anything, but maybe... Will this do anything? Will that get rid of those? Yes, it will. So the blocks in the corner don't disappear, but they're always there to act as sort of a wild card. Okay. Do that. This'll work. Okay. Yeah, now I get it. It makes sense. Doesn't mean I'm going to be any good at it, but it makes sense. That should do that. Yeah. Well, I don't know if we're going to win or not, but at least we gave it a better shot. That's not going to do anything like that. No. Alright. And I won. Not as good as Puzzle Bobble. And no, it's not as immediately obvious as Puzzle Bobble. Yes, maybe we can know why it remains obscure atom. Yeah, you sandwich pieces vertical, horizontally, or diagonally, so it's a bit more like columns, but also not. Anyway, we get cutscenes though. Right. Any specific requests in the chat? Otherwise, I'm going to go back to an arcade game. Yeah, I think we've seen enough of that one. Interesting one. I may play that again, actually. I didn't dislike it once I worked out how to play it. Planet Probe was Whiteboard's first game, published by Try, or would have been published by them, but I guess did not see release. Let me have a look at my list then. Let me have a look at my list. Shall we go shoot them up? No, actually, no. I know what we're going to do. Let's go with Ikki, aka Farmer's Rebellion. Insert coin with a gay. I don't remember if I remember. I don't remember if I remember. I don't remember if I know what to do in this game. But I know you run around in fields. Maybe playing the English version would have helped. Pokey stick. I can't go any further. Interesting. I can go back down. Okay, oh, there's a map. Okay, what's the map? What is the map showing me? Okay, it's a bit Rally X-like. Okay. I get that one. Now I've got a boomerang. Well, probably not a boomerang. It doesn't come back. It's a side. It's one of these games where you can only push at the very edge of the screen, though. I mean, that's the worst way to do push scrolling, because you have no idea what is in front of you. This is a computer game style push scroll. Kind of seems like Ninja Princess. I mean, this is by Sun Electronics. So, not quite Sega's pedigree, although Sun Electronics did do some good stuff. The key on this stage. So, let's run around the field. Definitely a bit Rally X with the map, though, isn't it? Rally X Ninja. Rally X Farmer Ninja. Except you can run on the field, so. Oh, they're firing. They've got guns. Right. There we go. Cleared that level. Ikki was developed by Tensai, or Toes, for Sunsoft. Ah, there's a nice version too, I see. So it's not... Oh, whoa, that's Toes speed. I did not realise this was also on the NES. But yeah, this push scroll is bad. I mean, you really can't see where you're going. Apart from upwards. The up scroll is fine. Oh dear. You got spiked with a star. Oh, there we go now. Is that the well monster? And the map. I think this is another one of those that is rather obscure. There we go. Music is going places. I mean, the music is bouncy and jolly, and definitely not something you can ignore. It gets a bit more maze-like at times. And these home in on the enemy, so they'll always fire in the direction of the enemy, which is not always useful if you want to fire in a straight line. I'm kind of reminded of the maze map on Spectrum game Feud, although obviously that does not play anything like this. But that is running around in fields and mazes and farms. See? Take a key to come in. See, but now if you want to fire it... I mean, it doesn't let you aim your firing, it auto-aims, which is annoying. Or is it? Maybe it's useful, but I don't know. This had an Arcade Archives release. I mean, that surprises me. But then again, if Sun were involved in that, then yeah, I mean, it's part of their back catalogue. They are still a company where the games do get licensed, so I guess they license out their games even if the ones that weren't biggest hits. Unless it was a big hit. I mean, you did say it got a home port, but I don't think it's going to be one of the first names to come to mind if somebody mentions famous arcade games from their past. Ooh. Not too bad actually. Not too bad at all. And if I'm going to do if it's going to be another 2-hour stream, that takes us to the halfway point with the stream. Is it based on Japanese myth legends or just some regular farmer? I really don't know. I don't know anything about it. Oh, that was the daimyo wandering around. If you catch him, you get a bonus and a level skip. Aussie guy is more likely to know. Ooh, but I don't know. Maybe that's a good game to play, actually, though. Maybe that's a good game to play. Mr. Goemon. I did not realise until very recently that this is basically the predecessor to the SNES Mythical Ninja games. The whole of the Goemon games on there, they were also from Konami. I did not know there was that connection, but I think it was a SNES drunk streamer saw it mentioned on another one. Let's just mention that this was like the first game in that series, basically the Japanese Robin Hood. Up to jump on this one, because why not? Knife to a cat. Yes, I think this is a bit of an overlooked Konami arcade game, to be honest. People talk about Kicker and Shallow's Road, that one. But this one less so. Yeah, Mr. Kabuki, Mythical Ninja and stuff like that. That's a shrill whistle. Basically reminds me a bit of Sun with the multiple platforms where you scroll as well and things like that. I got. Oh. Okay. Spread the money around. Hard game 2. The moon is the time. Oh yeah, I didn't notice the moon was the time, but that is yeah, that's quite a cool little idea. I mean, most Konami games were hard. They were known for making hard games. I mean, I've got a decent credit time out of it though. I can't really complain about the game time I've got out of this one. And you play some games and your credit is over in 30 seconds and you're like, what? Or even less. Now, I think I'm going to put on a bit of WonderSwan after this, because I did promise in my Discord that I would look at the Ghosts and Goblin, Ghouls and Ghosts WonderSwan version. It's Ghosts and Goblin or Ghouls and Ghosts? I can't remember which one it was based on. Game over. So yeah, that was a credit on Mr. Goemon. An enjoyable game. Barely on the high score table, but that's okay. I did, didn't I, Atom? I did. If you smack the moon, a rabbit falls. I'm not sure how that's life. I'm not sure that's how life works, but it's a game. Anyway, yes, I did indeed make a promise for that one. So that is what I will do. This one we want the generic background because it is one which is not a regular size screen. Just move this around. Sound is a little horrible on this, but we'll deal with it. Okay. or WonderSwan. Makaimura. Just continue. Okay. There is a Mr. Driller on the WonderSwan. A pretty decent port. Now this is of course the original WonderSwan. Not the WonderSwan colour. Kind of a shame the number of games that were only on the original WonderSwan, not the colour, but it's just how it was. But yeah, this isn't quite the same as any of the arcade games, as you can see. You didn't get these floating coffins in the arcade games. And I don't know if the kind of horrible sound is a MAME thing or just a game thing. But yeah, they float around and you can't actually shoot them. That didn't last very long, did it? Yeah, it is a pity it didn't have a colour version. Well, yeah, black and white horror movies were a thing, so I guess it's okay. But yeah, you just have to wait for those to open, I think. Which means this is... the pacing feels a little off as a result. Unless I'm missing something. And the WonderSwan did have a selection of buttons. WonderSwan's an interesting one as well because a lot of the games were vertical, and when you used a vertical orientation, the buttons and the D-pad kind of swap meanings. There we go. Obviously, the original Ghosts and Goblins is known for being hard. This is based on based on that, although the stage layout is completely different. Bit of slow down here. Not quite sure. I mean, I think the speed of the emulated system is correct, so it probably just slows down. Is this a good weapon in this game? No, I don't know. What weapon have we got? Probably. And yes, you still lose your clothes when you get hit. Oh, this is the awful weapon. I should not have picked that up. Now I have no range whatsoever. Yeah, that's a spiky pit, isn't it? Are we back at the start? Oh, we're back at the start with the awful weapon. Oh dear. Ow! I think I may have made a mistake here. I don't care about those ones. Every Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblin game has at least one absolutely terrible weapon. Yeah, everything's better than this sword. Oh, come on. In fact, this is the point where I think I'm just going to restart the game. I cannot be dealing with that. So let's just get back our proper weapon and start from the start. It makes more sense than trying to deal with playing this with that. Yeah, so this is the spear, which is alright. The knife was okay, but that sword was avoid at all costs. I doubt that anywhere that sword is most useful. Could try new Ghouls and Ghosts on Steam. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to do too many things at once here. I don't know why they would make some weapons seemingly useless, but if there was a specific place in the game it was really useful, maybe. But yeah, there are some weapons in all these Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblin games that are just useless. I mean, it's even the same in some of the games that sort of clone the formula, like that Magical Cat adventure that we looked at. Some of those weapons are just pointless. There's nowhere they're actually useful. No, I jumped down there. I didn't want to do that. I think I want to be up here. But a lot of these are about being cautious as well. You can say things like Dark Souls are games about being cautious about your movements, but that does apply quite a lot to the Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts game as well. If you rush, You tend to die. As you can see, we're not getting very far. I am struggling to read the chat a little bit at the moment, by the way, because the widescreen nature of the WonderSwan means that it is covering the chat window. So, yes, apologies if there's anything being said that I don't reply to. And like all these games, well, you can't fire up. Well, like the Ghosts and Goblins, you can't fire up. Ghouls and Ghosts you could fire up. Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the SNES, you can't fire up again, which is why it's more like a Ghosts and Goblins sequel. Firing up makes things so much easier. I don't like the collisions on this. I'm going to say that much. The collision boxes on those flying enemies is way bigger than the enemy. Because you would have thought I would have gone under your feet, and it didn't. So I think this is going to be the last attempt on this, because if we don't get past that point, then this is going to start to look very repetitive and boring. And I don't have the patience for it. I mean, it's a take on the game. I'm not the biggest fan of this take on it. But... No. Oh. See, even the collision boxes on the weapons that you don't want is too big. What? Yeah. I know, we're not getting anywhere on that, because I'm terrible at it. Terrible at it, indeed. But yes, that is Ghosts and Goblins for the WonderSwan. If you're better at games than me, then maybe Rainbow Island's Putty Party. Is that a WonderSwan game, or is that what's that on PDub? What's that on PDub? It was developed by Caramel Mama and Layup for Bandai. Motion blur is too high. Yeah, I'm just using the generic filter, although I don't think motion blur is what was killing me on that game, Johnny. I think it was just WonderSwan. Okay, I'll have to have a look at that one in the future and see how I like it. Yeah, okay, no problem, Adam. It's always nice to have a look at it. It has been on my list to look at for a little while. I've just maybe never got around to it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But no, now I have played it, and so thank you for the suggestion. It's nice to have a look at suggestions like that. Where do we go now? I'm going to go with, I think it's vertical. Is it vertical? We'll see. Bit of vector goodness from Sega, 1982's TAC Scan. There we go. I do love a bit of vector. So, let's fire up. Now, this is one of those games where you can only have one set of bullets on screen at once. So, if I keep firing like this, I get spiky shots instead of actual shots. You control all the ships at once, so you have to dodge things. And, you do lose them one by one, though. Lost the ship. So, vector games are always something special. Hey, stop taking out my chips. Yeah, lots of options from the start, but those are basically your lives. You lose those and, yeah, that's it. Now we get into this section, which... right down the screen. Bit of slowdown now. It can't quite cope with the 3D maths here, I feel. But that's the game. Oh, I've lost my lead ship. I can add spares. I do have some reserves where I can press the button and re-add them if I want. The extra firepower. But I've only got 2 reserves now. There's the lives counter at the corner. See, if I press it, my lives decrease, but I do get a ship back. Although I've got none in reserve now, so once I start losing at this point, they are gone. Come on, let's get through this section at least. Making me want to play Star Wars then. Now we get tunnel section. I don't know if you can get bonus lives easily or not. I don't think you can. Yeah, it's a bit like Reverse Moon Crest. You start with everything and slowly lose it. Was that an extra life if I picked it up? Might have been. So they do look like my ships. So yeah, I bet if I collect these. Yeah, okay, you can get extra ships that way. There you go. That's how you get extra ships. They do appear every now and again. In fact, that's quite generous, really. Look, there we go. I've almost got a full lot. There we go. I do, in fact, have a full lot of ships. Let's go to catch them all. Back to 3D sections. Well, yeah, not bad for 82, is it? I think we are going to have to do Star Wars after this because vector game. One ship remains. Sadly, you can't move it round from what I can tell. Tunnel section. Just keep within the green, really. Back to this section. I guess had I had more ships right now, the formation would be a bit different. Oh, there we go. That is my last ship gone, and that is game over on TAC scan. But yes, down the letter. Yeah, this is not the easiest to read entry screen, is it? I'm not sure I like what they did with the entry screen here. Just put... Yeah. It's... there we go. Get there in the end. Get there in the end. Yeah, pretty cool for 82. I do like it. Vector technology. I think we need the vector technology to come back. We need some dedicated vector games. Attack scan? Yeah, it's a good one. Sound nice, crunchy, loud sounds too. And yes, we really do have to, because you can't do vector games unless you are willing to actually play Star Wars. Name entry is not super functional. No, it's very hard to read letters when they're moving all the time.
The Force will be with you.
The Force will be with me. Space Invaders Infinity. I don't think I've played that on T-Dub. Unfortunately, PS3 is one of those eras where many games did not get physical releases, and a lot of these more interesting games were lost unless you have a hack system. Okay, now time to get used to inverted controls again. Okay.
I'm hit, but not bad. R2, see what you can do with it.
But actually, no. I don't... Sorry, I want non-reverse controls. I'm not feeling reverse controls right now. I know that's probably a crime, but
Risk 5, I'm going in.
I am out of practice on this one. No.
R2 trying to increase the power. I lost R2.
Didn't even get to the fans. Okay, that was bad.
Force will be with you, always.
That was terrible.
The Force will be with you.
Okay, let's actually...
Standing by.
No, let's not go easy. Let's just try and not be terrible. So I think that's the first time I've failed on this game without even getting to the final section.
Grid 5, I'm going in. I'm hit, but not bad. R2, see what you can do with it.
I'm not judging these tower positions very well. I'm flying into them. That's not what I'm meant to do.
Use the Force, Luke.
Yeah.
R2 trying to increase the
No.
power.
No.
Luke, trust me.
Ooh.
Yahoo! You're all clear, kid.
And there we go. We get the explosion. The explosion that on a real monitor is very, very bright. You love the graffiti outside the Death Star. Yes, that's a nice touch, isn't it?
I lost R2.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Anyway, that was a bit of Star Wars because it has to be done. Again, rather near the bottom. Easy on cab with the proper controls. Yeah, on a real vector monitor, I think everybody needs to see that explosion on a real vector monitor once in their life because no emulator can replicate just how bright that is. Did any Japanese developer make arcade vector games? Aussie guy would probably be the better one to answer that. I don't know. But yes, there we go. A bit of Star Wars. That wasn't on my list to play today, but it got played. Where now? We have about 40 minutes left. Let's switch to a console. PC Engine. And a game that I believe is from Taito. Go. I've not played this before. I just saw it in a list of shoot 'em ups on the PC Engine and thought, that looks like it might be fun. Let's give it a shot. I think that might be a slight emulation glitch in MAME there with the line in the sky, but yeah, I think there might be a raster that's off a line or something. Yeah, the raster's definitely a lot off a line on this. So ignore the slightly bad lines in places. MAME's PC Engine emulation is not perfect. That was a bit like bonk. So I guess this is a Taito shoot 'em up. I got hit by an egg. Obviously, if there's a strategy to this game, I'm not aware of it because first time and all that. Appears to have got bigger. Oh, things falling from the ceiling. It's a horizontal shoot 'em up, so of course it has environmental hazards. Could be a horizontal shoot 'em up, all right, wouldn't it? It's have multiple paths. Ooh. Those are still hazardous, yes. PC Engine is a great system. It punched above its weight for pretty much the entire time it was around. You know, it's not got the most capable video system, nor the most capable CPU, but it's a step above the NES and Master System, and in many cases competed really well, even with the proper 16-bit consoles. I mean, people do sometimes say it's a 16-bit console, but you're pushing the definition. I would still class it as one of the 8-bits. No, I don't fit through that gap. Yeah, the developers made really good use of it, and there's lots of games on the PC that aren't anywhere else. I mean, you know, everybody does talk about the NES from this generation, but Master System, PC Engine, wow, that's really difficult to get by with just this firing rate. I'm not sure I'm going to have to do this. Bottom apparently. How on earth are you meant to do that? Well, that seems very unfair. Unless I'm missing something. Oh, I'm gone back to the start, have I? Well, let's give it another try. Yeah, Hudson did deserve a lot more. It was interesting to see that those Play Poems plug and plays were Hudson designed hardware. Like the Marina Tengoku, Marimba, the music one, and a few of the others. So Hudson was still doing hardware because they did the Play Poem system. But obviously that was just for a few plug and plays, never a console. Right. Oh wait, there is a charge shot, so maybe I need to use the charge shot in those corridors. That might make more sense. We'll try that next time if I get there again. Yeah, the power motor at the top is the charge, so yeah. Okay, I missed that. Okay, well, I'd say, not played it before. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, the shoot 'em ups especially are really good on the PC. You've got Corey and that Corey and Child Dragon's really good, and then you've got the PC Engine CD port games, and again, it's one of the few CD systems at the time where you think they actually made good use of the CD system because they just made better versions of games rather than trying to make FMV nonsense. I am underwater. Bet that for me, yeah. Thought it would. I like this route better. There's more bonuses. I bet there's also more dangers. PC Engine was made for people to play alone. I suppose when you've got limited CPU power, it kind of makes sense, though, if you're not trying to focus too much on multiplayer. Because, you know, if you're trying to do sprites for lots of players and everything else, it's you're pushing things a bit more than making dedicated single player. The CD unit adds a bunch of extra memory with the arcade cards and stuff like that, but you know, it's not trying to do FMV. It doesn't add any graphics hardware, as far as I know. Yeah. I didn't notice. I didn't actually know that that it was designed for one player. That is a new one for me. I never really noticed because I always play games alone anyway when I'm doing emulation streams, and a lot of the time. So I did not know that. There is a multi-tap though. Yeah, because it's got games like Bomberman, which is surely multiplayer. This is a completely different route than we took last time. I did not realise the paths were going to branch quite this much. There's space, and this will be the end of the level again, won't it? What? You got a boss? Yeah, boss, I think. Okay. Oh, yes, okay. We've got Bandage Man. Oh, I don't want to do that. At this power level, even the charge shot is super weedy. I think this might be one of those games, though, where dying is not good for you. I mean, that most games that's the case, but, you know, restart position is probably going to be really punishing. Especially if you do that. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. I'm going to face the boss at minimum power, or maybe not? Yes, face the boss at minimum power. Oh no, release power, release useful? Yes. Oh, yeah, it's quite difficult to get back up to power without losing it immediately. It spawns you quite a way back there. This is the one, Aussie guy. Developed by Natsume. That's a name you still see around, isn't it? Didn't they do the Pocky and Rocky stuff? At least the recent ones. Yeah. No, this is one of those PC Engine games that I wasn't aware of until more recently. For some reason, it's not one that comes up in many of the lists of shooters. Many others do, but this one less so for some reason. I'm not sure why. At least the lists I used to look at. Yeah, the sprites are really big. I mean, I wasn't expecting the boss to be quite as big as it was. No, I mean, the PC is not really suited to parallax, Andre. That's one of the things, the PCE does only have a single background layer. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know where the safe places are on that boss. Right, attack it there. Mouth. The top of the head, okay. There we go. Not too bad, even at the smaller side. Abdullah the Butcher. Unfortunately, not the greatest animation. Is that the octopus from Rodius? Don't think so. This is Titan, not Konami. Virtual Boy. I mean, I've used a Virtual Boy before. I don't have one. And yes. Ah, okay, so the two different Natsumes, one from America, well, branches, independent branches. According to Aussie Guy in the chat there. But sometimes I will read out the facts and forget to just say that it's Aussie Guy providing them, but yeah, many of the facts I'm saying are from Aussie Guy. Oh, there's a... yes. Walls. I feel stupid because that was an obvious trap, and it was a trap. Oh well. But yes, there we go. There we go. Yeah, Parasol Stars on the PC Engine is excellent P-Dub. I mean, it's easily arcade quality, even though the game never officially got an arcade release. Okay, so yeah, there we go with a bit of PC Engine. Let's play one that had a slight tiny bug fix in recent year. Well, this year. Pirate Ship Higemaru from Capcom. So. There weren't many games set on pirate ships then. It looks a bit like Bomberman, but it doesn't really play that much like Bomberman. Yes, we take out the pirates. A bit more Pengo than anything, I'd say. Pengo, but instead of pushing the ice blocks, you can pick them up because they're barrels. It's even the way they flash to show you where the enemies are. Where something is, anyway. Yeah, fish in this case, not enemies, sorry. Pirate themed Pengo, yeah. But it's a bit of a mix. It also reminds me a little bit of Miss Dynamite. Really. So the ones with pirates and have eyes, the ones that are flashing have the fishing. That's how this one works now. There we go. Now the bug fix that was made to this is ever so incredibly tiny that I won't even see it yet. It'll be a little while before we get to actually show that. If I manage to. Yes, get the fish. Take out the pirates. Oh. Captain doesn't matter so much for some reason. But we'll get rid of him anyway. Deck 3. Yeah, I think this one is another one of those that is often overlooked for some reason. I think you can join the coins like you can join things on Pengo as well, can't you? One memory? Oh, not if you do that. It would be nice if Capcom still made games like. I mean, it'd be nice if everybody still made games like this. If we're honest, I think there's still a market for this type of thing. As recent games like Dodo prove. I mean, that is a simple arcade game that has managed to get itself a physical release because, you know, there are people who buy them even physically. But So this is where they fix it. The high score entry here, I think the highlight cursor was broken before because it relies on sprite flipping, and nobody had pointed that out in many years. But there we go. Good players, not great players, good players. I guess it starts with fourth. There's the best players, the top three. So that is unusual, isn't it? 2 high score tables, one for the best players and one for the good players. You don't see that very often. Is it worth another credit? I mean, it's a good game, but I was trying to show off the high score screen bug fix. And I've shown that now. Yes, you get the chain points for doing more things in a row. Chain points for picking those up, like that. But yes, definitely want to check out if you've never played it before. And I think it does, despite being a Capcom game, tend to get overlooked. I know what we're doing next. Again, any suggestions in the chat are more than welcome. Let's go with a bit of S.R.D mission. Yeah, the game's gone, sorry. Space shooting action. Oops. Thou shalt not kill. There you go. If you shoot the guys on the ground, that's what this game tells you. Thou shalt not kill. Which seems so out of place. Almost makes me want to kill them even more. Yep, see? Thou shalt not kill. Anything not meant to kill? Like, basically, the civilians are the good guys who get that message. And I think you lose a bunch of points for it. Don't score many points in the first place, mind you. Well known Darwin quote. It resets your entire score if you kill them. That's what I thought it was doing. So yeah, you really don't want to kill the people on the ground in this game. There aren't many games that do that and just take all your points away. I was just testing it the other day and just see if I wanted to stream it. I noticed that happen, and I thought it was kind of funny. But you do it at the start. Don't have any points to take away in the first place. You'll be playing some public domain games. Oh, Pod. I remember Pod. I had Pod. That was the very colourful game, wasn't it, Pod? Lots of colour cycling on that one. I had a lot of Amiga PD games back in the day. I had the fruit salad, the weird Tetrisy one with the psychedelic backgrounds. Claws the Cat, I think that was a shareware one I had. Yeah, I had loads of Amiga PD discs. There's Dennis Hangman. No, that's not what you want to play. Orc Attack on the Amiga, that's one of the best people games. I really like that version. I even played Orca Attack on one of these streams, the Amiga version, and it worked pretty well. I don't do much Amiga on here because main Amiga emulation is very ropey, but Orca Attack was a lot of fun. I had that one back in the day too. Extreme Violence, yeah. There's a few good like tank games. There's a good 3D racing game as well. It's very simple. I think it's done in Amos 3D. I can't remember which one it was, but that was pretty good fun. And the sort of battle arena car thing, which might be the same developer. There are a few good multiplayer games on PD too. You think S.R.D mission is whiteboard like Crux? What's left of Orca? I don't know. I mean, this is okay. I mean, I'm a bit surprised Taito licensed it because it's not as good as a lot of Taito's own games, but it's fine for what it is. Just a bit of a by the numbers shooter with that weird mechanic of resetting your score if you decide to shoot the people you're meant to be rescuing. But yeah, okay. Well, we'll move on from that one. We have 15 minutes left. I'm going to have a quick look at the list of things. We've not really done anything in the way of 3D fighters, have we? So, let's switch you back to this view and play a bit of this one, which was also on the PS1, but the PS1 version has extra sort of strategy bits. There's this. It's just the fighting part. 1997 Square and Dream Factory. Very odd title. Not the biggest selection of characters, but we will be this one here. Super Real Darwin. It's a great username. Yeah, Super Real Darwin unfortunately is not that much fun, but at least I don't like it. That's not a good start. I don't know if I've even got all the control set up. That's not really what I want. No. No, that is what. So that is what I want. Yes. Right, let's try again. I didn't work out. But yeah, this one doesn't get talked about, at least in an arcade sense, that much. I think people prefer the PS1 version with a bit of extra content. God bless the ring. Bad names with great names, the thing again. I mean, bad games in general is the theme of these streams. I mean, it wouldn't be much fun if I only played the good games, now would it? I win. Oof. It's quite strange the way you can just run around though. It feels like an action RPG even in the way it controls in the fights, which is just odd for a fighting game, I have to say. Whiteboard made 4 shooting games: Planet Probe, S.R.D Mission, Airwolf, and Hammer Away. Hammer Away being the one that was never released. Hello, you turn into a thing. Let me have a look at minus 100 points. Why am I losing points? Another game where you can lose points, apparently. Even though I don't seem to have a score, I've lost points. Ow. Replay. Whiteboard changed that name to Santos in the 90s. Did they publish much under the Santos name? Hey look, we've got a platform gate. How it's a stage on multiple levels. I mean, you can't say the game isn't trying to do something a bit different, but does it work? I don't really know. Hey Christian, welcome, welcome. Yeah, you're here for pretty much the end. I think we'll get this game and maybe one more. It's going to be a 2-hour stream. But welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Santos did the Mahjong games, didn't they? On the Neo, right. Yeah, it might show the score at the end, Ryan. You're right. Which may be soon. I lost. I get score at the end. Ooh. Well now. Okay. Next and probably final game will be... I don't know. Reminds me of Tekken. Yeah, both on Namco hardware. Yeah, I think Namco co-developed it, which is probably why it's a bit like Tekken. Right. I'm just looking at this list of games. Yeah. I think this is a not that one. That's not the one. That's the thing. Right. So this one is off apparently. To save. Okay. There we go. Should be starting now. Right. It's like Centipede. Oh wait, no, I need the mouse. Reload, relaunch. Need analog controls for this one. So mouse it is. Bit like Centipede, but with up and down firing and free movement. Now, personally, I quite like this one. Yes, apparently this was a heavily hyped game by the company that made it, but never did very well. And the problem is it's basically just a twist on Centipede. I mean, it's probably better than a lot of the official Centipede sequels, but that doesn't really mean it's the best game. The very jumpy main character movement is not helping. And yes, everything blocks your movement, so you can't let this field fill up too much with the bushes, because then you can't move around very easily. Yeah, it is neat. I mean, I quite like it. Again, it kind of failed when it came out, but it's a playable and fun take on Centipede. And in terms of the games on Kick's hardware, I'd say it's one of the better ones. I mean, I'm not a fan of things like Complex X. I can't stand it. And Kick's itself, I mean, it's okay. But not a favourite. I mean, in terms of, I think things like Zookeeper are far, far superior. I ran out of mouse mat. That's never clever. Because yes, I'm playing on mouse, not a trackball. I do like games with snakes like this, though. I love that Wild Snake puzzle game on the Mega Drive. The unreleased Wild Snake puzzle game, should I say. Yeah, the sound on these tended to be crazy. You like the sound of you, Peter? Hypnotic. I mean, it's Flight of the Bumblebee, the music, technically, I think. Just in a very weird, hypnotic way, yes. With all the old video game sounds overlaid. Right, today again. So it's got the full day-night cycle. There we go. Back to the day. You can see a bit more easily now again. Ah, got stuck. Got stuck. Robotron meets Cybernoid, yeah. I think I quite like it. I think it doesn't deserve to be as forgotten as it is, this one. That's incorrect initials. Yeah, GDI. I mean, GDI also published a few games for IREM, but I think this was their attempt to put something else out. Did they develop it and Century publish it? I can't remember. I can't remember at this point. My facts are not with me in my brain. Yeah, you do get some slightly invisible snakes too, just for added fun later. But yeah, we're pretty much on the 2 hour mark. And I said I was going to do 2 hours because I've not been doing that many streams, and 3 hours is pushing it a little bit at the moment. I don't know when the next one will be. It's going to be a busy weekend for me. I'll probably be out in Nottingham tomorrow. And then I don't know. I've got a bunch of stuff to get done next week. I'm just going to see when I can schedule another one, but I don't know. But thank you, as always, for everybody who has been here and chatting away. It's been a nice, busy chat, and I hope you all got to see something that you've not seen before, or just enjoyed the ride, enjoyed sitting around and listening and watching me play some games badly. There were a few that I kind of wanted to look at that I never got round to, but say there'll be other times for those. And I hope I didn't miss any suggestions. I know somebody wanted some MSX2, but I do need actual game names because MSX2's got loads of games on it. But yes, I will catch you all next time, and I think with that, I will just say good night, everybody. Good night.